Let's start with you, Maria, if we can. I mean, it's interesting listening to that campaigner from Balcombe. She seems to be suggesting that people are changing the words here to actually cover up the fact that it is fracking by a different name.
Yeah, well, I've always been someone who's not been supportive of fracking and campaigned very hard to get the moratorium in place in the first place. But what I would say is that the circumstances have changed in terms of our energy needs. On your news report there, you had concerns about, do we have enough energy to get through this winter? They're plans we put in every year, but obviously there's a bit more uncertainty this year than there was last year. So we do need to look at our energy needs across the board. And there are some communities in the country that do want fracking and are very keen to see it go ahead. I think it's highly unlikely it's going to happen in Sussex. There isn't the appetite for it. Most of the Sussex MPs are against it. And on your point around more housing, these are plans for investment zones, again, around different parts of the country where housing is desperately needed. It would need the local authority, and Emily is one of the councillors on a local authority here, that was put in for a bid for an investment zone. So I think that, again, is highly unlikely to happen. And as someone who's been campaigning to protect our greenfield sites, I probably wouldn't support Sussex being an investment zone either.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people very relieved to hear you say you don't think fracking will come to Sussex, but how do you feel about it coming to anywhere in the country? I mean, I think everyone hears what you're saying about this need to try and find some alternative forms of energy, but, well, a lot of people think that it can cause earthquakes. A lot of people say, oh, well, we don't know. I suppose the question is that something you want to take the risk with?
Well, when the government have set out their plans, as I said, there are communities that have got shale gas that would like to look at the possibility of fracking, because they're parts of the country where jobs and investment haven't been what we've seen in the southeast, and would welcome the opportunity to look at that. And I think that's all that's being discussed at the moment. But if you look at our record, we've significantly increased the amount of renewables in this country. Nearly 60% of our electricity is from renewables. That's why we're not in the position of France and Germany and Italy, because we're not so dependent on gas. Down here in Sussex, we've got the Rampier wind farm, which currently powers 350,000 homes and is looking to double that in the next couple of years. So we've got a really good track record on renewable energies. And I think the issue around fracking, the government has said if a local community is keen to look at it, they will lift the ban, the moratorium for that to happen. But I don't get the impression that in Sussex there's any appetite for that at all.